Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Monday, August the 6th, 2018, and Monday Night Raw tonight blatantly deceived the audience on many occasions, and we are here to bring the hammer down on the whole entire episode right here and right now, as we can only do on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and Podbean. Baby. Oh, it's the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show! Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. That intro music better have friggin' worked tonight. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the greatest tag team in all of professional wrestling coverage for the Hammer of Reason, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and my little buddy, my most trusted companion, and the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all of the universe, Mr. Blue, the Snowball Microphone. Thank you guys for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review tonight. And I feel like an asshole tonight after watching Monday Night Raw. Never have they ever truly just totally spit in the face of my intelligence all night long as we are on the road to SummerSlam this year. But never mind that. Let's talk about SummerSlam. Thank you guys for joining us. It is our SummerSlam subscription drive event, and if you guys are new to the channel, thank you guys for checking us out, and don't forget to subscribe to the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube. I appreciate you guys checking us out, as I appreciate each and every one of the absolute best wrestling fans in the whole entire world that are joining by the day. Join the hundreds of fans that know that Sledgehammer TV is the place to be when you want the hammer brought down on your professional wrestling coverage, and this is the perfect time to do so. SummerSlam, the real biggest party of the summer, is happening right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this video to its goal, and get this channel, rather, to our goal of 1,000 subscribers and beyond before we hit this horrendous SummerSlam pay-per-view August the 19th coming at us. Now listen, you watched Monday Night Raw tonight and you enjoyed it, then you were probably one of the people that enjoyed last week's Monday Night Raw, which was an absolute piece of trash. And when you take the script from last week to bring it over to this week and just X and O a few little things and move this over here and move that over there like an NFL coach, it doesn't come off as new or exciting or different. They're barely even trying anymore. And a show like tonight does nothing but make me depressed. It makes me sad to be a wrestling fan. It makes me embarrassed to call myself a wrestling fan. And it makes me angry more than anything at Vince McMahon. Because you want to talk about things coming straight from the top, right? Kurt Angle's talking about orders coming straight from the top, right? Who is the top? There is no more top you can get. You cannot get any higher than Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He's the man calling the shots. I think he's probably the one getting a little too high in the back. Maybe he's hanging out with Matt Riddle back there, the King of Bros, and they're token up in the back while he's writing the new script with one of his newest signees. I can't explain it to you. And truly, it's not the talent's fault. We're going to say a lot of bad shit about a lot of people tonight. Case in point, Alicia Fox. And you know what? It might not even be their fault. As terrible as she is, we all know she's not worth a shit as a wrestler. We all know her acting ability is minimal at best. We all know that there is not one reason on God's green earth that an Alicia Fox should be in a main event of a Monday Night Raw opposite a UFC champion. And then the WWE wants to lie to our faces all night long and give us this promo package on Alicia Fox trying to tell us she was a revolutionary force in a division that was absolute trash when she was part of it. When she was a more notable figure in the then Divas division, I wanted to bludgeon myself to death with my own sledgehammer back then. And I didn't even have the hammer yet. A disgrace and an embarrassment to wrestling. You wanted to make this the opening segment? That's fine. I still say it is an ultimate disrespect to Ronda Rousey. She herself is pretty green still. She's been working on it, and she's tremendously better than half the roster already as far as the females are concerned, even as far as the men are concerned. She could throw a judo flip. We know that. It's all we've pretty much been seeing her do. But it's a disservice to her. A match like Ronda Rousey's first match should be special. It should be given a special opponent. Somebody that could carry Ronda Rousey and make her look like more of a badass than she actually even is. It's terrible. I don't like it. It's disrespectful. But is it Alicia Fox's fault? Is it her fault that she was placed in this position? A position that is way out of her league and way above her pay grade. Is it her fault? Is it Roman Reigns' fault that he was pretty much dominating the first 2 hours of tonight's broadcast, much to the disgust of 90% of the WWE universe? No, it's not his fault. Is it Finn Balor's fault that he's stuck in a dead feud against the moron? Is it his fault that we don't see the demon anymore and that he's walking around like a shiny, happy 8-year-old smiling for his mama? Having to be forced to go against some bald idiot that's dressed up like a bellhop? Is it his fault? Is it Liv Morgan's fault that her mouth is blue after Papa Smurf unloads some Smurfberry juice down her throat? I guess maybe that is her fault just a little bit. We're getting off track with that one. But really, it's not even creative's fault. They can only give us what they are allowed to give us. Some of the shit they come up with that makes TV, I'm sure that comes across the desk of the old man and gets approved, is absolutely their fault. But when you look at the show as a whole, and a creative team that probably has some sort of talent, or else they wouldn't even be in the position they're in the first place, they had to have made something good at some point. They have to have some logic or reason in their brain. It just has to be there. These people are put into a box and are told to remain within the confines of what this old man wants. And when they are forced to ram the agenda of whatever he wants to push on this particular evening down our throats, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to do it to satisfy the old man and make his genetic grapefruits tingle with joy when he watches his vision come across TV, selfishly being the only man who enjoys the fucking show all night long. Is it their fault that they're forced to give us this garbage? Sure, they should maybe stand up and be like, hey, boss, it's been 4 fucking years, bro. How can we still do this? Stop smoking up with Matt Riddle and get your fucking head in the game. Stop waiting in line for Liv Morgan to get at to you after Papa Smurf and Brainy Smurf and Hefty Smurf. Get your head in the game. See the writing on the wall. And take a look at the script that you had tonight, which is echoes from last week, which was one of the worst Raws I have ever seen in all year long, maybe even in my life. And you have a recipe for fucking disaster, which is what we had tonight on Monday Night Raw. Did you really enjoy tonight's show? If you did, then you must be among one of the thousands of idiots that stroke the cock of Roman Reigns. Because that's what this show was all about. It made me absolutely sick to my stomach watching the level that this push has elevated to. From the opening segment into the opening match to that ridiculous sit-down interview with Corey Graves, all the times we had to see him in the back, and then they were going to book him in this match with Seth Rollins, only to have him in a backstage segment again. It was Roman Reigns night until we hit the 10 o'clock hour, where now it became ladies night. because we didn't see a single woman for the first 2 hours of the night. This show was a fucking failure and a disgrace to professional wrestling. This build from Monday Night Raw to SummerSlam has been lazy. It has done nothing to get you excited. Why would you be excited for Brock and Roman Reigns? Why would you be excited for Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin for the 5th time in 4 weeks? Why are you going to be excited for Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins for 8 times in the last 6 weeks? Why? What's to be excited about seeing Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss if it is anything less than a 60-second squash match of Alexa Bliss just handing the title to Ronda Rousey? There is no point to it happening. Are you excited about the triple threat for Carmella on SmackDown Live? No. There are a few things to maybe be interested in if we're talking about SmackDown, but we'll get to that tomorrow night. Tonight, Monday Night Raw, and everything they're putting on the table leading up to SummerSlam just makes me want to start smashing people in the friggin' head with this thing. Send me down to Titan and let me start threatening heads. Or just start bashing away. And then take the pen myself and write the next 6 months of TV. The way you should be doing. Planning ahead. Strategic, carefully. Meticulously planning show to show. Giving the fans what they want. You want to tell us every week that that's what you do. We give the fans what we want. But then we got to sit with the first 2 hours of this show tonight. And have the big dog humping us in the ass all night long. Like that dog that your aunt got when you go to your aunt's house and they just keep going wild on your leg and you keep shaking him and he just fucking won't let go. And all night long you finally get a reprieve and he goes away and then all of a sudden the big dog's back on your leg just humping like a wild fucking rabbit. This is what Monday Night Raw brings out of me, and this is why the hammer fucking comes down, because I cannot deal with a show like this. You got Gabriel Iglesias. You know, he is a big stand-up comedian. I don't mean big just because he's a big guy. I mean, he literally is big. But he's a very big name in the stand-up comedy world. He's been on WWE television. He's been there live in the crowd. He's a very, very big celebrity fan of the product. And you got him going out on Twitter. He had a fan randomly ask him, "Hey, fluffy guy, are you going to be at SummerSlam this year?" And his response was, "Absolutely not, because I refuse to sit through another Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns match." That's how the world feels. Shit, I guarantee that's how Brock and Roman even feel. But like I said at the start of the show, you can't fight the wind. And you can't fight the old man. The wind's gonna blow, and so is Vince McMahon. Because everything he has put out for the last 2 years has done nothing but suck. This Monday Night Raw proves it. What did you enjoy tonight? Did you enjoy the B-Team's new stupid fucking theme song? You didn't have me mad enough that you turned something that could have been special in the B-Team into a running gag on Monday Night Raw, into the Fashion Police 2.0. All over again, we got to see a decent tag team with potential turned into an absolute trash bag full of bad jokes. And now you take them and a decent theme song. Wasn't the best theme song in the world. Not like I was rocking out to the B-Team song in this studio off camera. Because I wasn't doing that, I swear. I swear. But this fucking song is horrible. It's like a college fight song. For the B-Team. Why? So you can get the crowd going go, go, go? No, 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 stupid ass. Everything was fine the way it was. I was hoping you were going to take it more seriously. You were going to pull them away from the comedy edge that you want to give them and let them be what they are. 2 second-generation superstars that could be a formidable tag team if you take shit seriously on Monday Night Raw, but you don't. It's all about entertainment, right? There's a time and place on every wrestling show for entertainment, and it shouldn't be in the hands of the World Tag Team Champions. Disgraceful. Were you excited about Bozo Rowley showing up to wrestle the Inglorious Bastard? In the most mismatched feud I have ever seen in my life. Not because of the two competitors, but because the guy that should be bad is good, and the guy that should be good is bad, and it just throws the whole dynamic off. Bobby Roode being cheered and loved by the fans is just sickening. Look at the good it did for Randy Orton to finally embrace the dark that lives within him. It was a role that he's the most natural in being. Bobby Roode is the same way. He's cut from the same cloth as Randy Orton. But you want to have him shaking hands and kissing babies. Like a president. No. There's nothing glorious about Bobby Roode. There's nothing remotely good or glorious about Bozo Rowley. Did you care about that match? It was a nothing match. It was a non-entity. It did nothing for either man. Nobody's going anywhere. In a feud that'll probably end up in a useless pre-show match on the SummerSlam card that we don't need. Just to get these guys on the card, right? Because everybody's got to be on the show. Did you enjoy Elias tonight? You know I'm a big fan of Elias. I want to walk with Elias all the time. But these last couple of weeks has got me on the fence with Elias. Not only did his album totally disappoint me, but the way he's been on TV has just been shown as absolutely ridiculous to me. Here's a guy that had a rocket strapped to his back, and the fuse was lit, and it was ready to go, and WWE comes along with a bucket of boring trashly and douses the flame on the fuse of that rocket, and now he's stuck playing opposite Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was intense tonight, Nick. You're wrong about Bobby Lashley. No, I am not. Because no matter how his voice fluctuates or how he went up and down in his range and with his diaphragm he spoke with a little bit more ferocity, his eyes were still dead inside. His face did not convey the emotion that was being portrayed by his body. He's a lifeless, soulless person. He looks like a robot in the ring. He does not appeal to me, in case you haven't heard by now. This did nothing but once again serve to make Elias look like a goddamn fool. Elias is coming out. He's shooting a faux documentary, right? He's part 2 of his Elias documentary on the network. First of all, I call bullshit on that. If I'm wrong, great. I'll watch it. Who cares? But was this really necessary? All to have Bobby Lashley come out and to have them scuffle in the ring. Where is this leading and what is it for? What is the sense in this? Elias was mad at Bobby Lashley because he was the last of a list of people to interrupt his debut album night. And now we follow it up with Elias poking the bear and now being still mad at Bobby Lashley, and none of it really makes sense. And it's a waste of Elias. There was nothing at all to be excited about. We started this night with Roman Reigns fighting Baron Corbin for absolutely no reason. Was it a good match? I didn't care. All this was for, at the end, was to have them book a match between Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. That was the purpose of this whole segment. It could have been done without a match involving Roman Reigns. You literally could have just booked the match based off of what they've done with each other over the last couple of weeks. You didn't need another incident. And while we are on this incident, how stupid does Baron Corbin look? You're booking this thing. Baron Corbin just whooped Finn Balor's ass last week. He got the win, right? He was not afraid to put that out there. He's talking shit about it. And then Finn Balor comes out as he's trying to walk out on this match with Roman Reigns, and the guy backs away from tiny Finn Balor, this guy that you're supposedly not afraid of, this guy that you just beat last week. You're 2 feet taller than he is. He's coming out to stop you from walking to the back to get out of this match that you don't want to be in the first place, that you're only in thanks to Kurt Angle. Why didn't he just walk up to Finn Balor and just punch him in the mouth and just walk right past him? Because that's what Baron Corbin from NXT would have done. He wouldn't have been backing down from anybody. What happened? What are you, like fucking Samson? You shaved your stringy lack of hair that you had left off and now you lost your balls. Walking around dressed up like a fucking Hilton Hotel bellhop with your little stupid vest on, looking like a bald penis. What other kind of penis is there? All penis heads are bald. This is what Raw does to me. If you're a fan of the show, you're used to this shit by now. This is your first time viewing. Strap in, motherfuckers, because we ain't done yet. We're just getting started. Holy shit with this show. My notes are all over the place here tonight. Oh my God. We talked about all that shit already. The Authors of Pain. Oh, you want to talk about pain? Pain is having to watch this fucking show. That's what pain is. The Authors of Pain in another singles match. Why are they booking them this way? First of all, to bring NXT's most dominant team, maybe ever, up to the main roster and then waste them away in a feud against catering's finest, against the Raw tag team that is the most irrelevant, the most indistinct, the most useless. And the Authors of Pain can't dispatch these guys? And now you're going to book them in another singles match. Do you know what booking them in a singles match does? It makes the crowd not give a damn about this match, which is exactly what happened tonight. Razor went up against Titus O'Neil in a pairing against the opposite partners that we seen last week. Last week we saw Akam versus Apollo, and Apollo Crews beats Akam. So now this week we have Razor come out there and beat Titus O'Neil. That's supposed to make everything alright. Do you know what the crowd did? They all went to take a shit in the arena because nobody cared. Nobody gives a shit about Razor. You got him being announced as the winner by himself. The magic in that team is the fact that they were a team. The things that they could do together to the opponents that they are facing on that night that you're not going to see from any other team in wrestling. That's where they're special. They're not special one-on-one yet. This is not the way you book the Authors of Pain. They should have came in that first match with Titus Worldwide and absolutely eviscerated them and to the point where they're done. Next. Who's next? One team after the next. Just boom, boom, boom. Falling to the Authors of Pain. Writing a page with each week as Monday Night Raw goes on 1 week at a time. But no, we get this fucking trash heap. Proof that they have no understanding of what they get from NXT and no respect for what they have from NXT and not a goddamn clue of what to do with talent that can get over on their own. One of the biggest mistakes made was taking Paul Ellering away from the Authors of Pain. Because singles or tag, at least with the manager as the mouthpiece, they would have been made better. But nobody gives a shit. You blew it. You're continuing to blow it with the Authors of Pain. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. Seth Rollins wants revenge on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. 2 weeks out from SummerSlam, you're having a match with Dolph Ziggler. Why are you so anxious to fight them again? We've seen you fight Drew McIntyre 2 of the last 3 weeks. We've seen you fight Dolph Ziggler about 3 or 4 times already in the last month. Now we have to see it again. So they want to make it a tag match. Kurt Angle says you find a partner and you got it. We come to this point in the show where Seth Rollins is backstage with Tyler Breeze. And for the first time all night, my interest is piqued. Tyler Breeze is fantastic. He's an overlooked and underutilized talent. He has charisma and good timing on the mic. And in the ring, he is almost impeccable. One of the best that has come from NXT of all time. despite the fact not having gold as much as he should. And he wants to approach Seth Rollins. He says, you need a partner tonight? I got you. You're CrossFit Jesus. I'm Tyler Breeze. Together we are CrossFit Breezes. And like I said, I was interested. It made me chuckle, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Seth Rollins and Tyler Breeze going against Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I'm with that. That's new. That's exciting. That's putting top talent against top talent. That's going to do it. And then what happens? What happens? What happens? Oh! Roman Reigns comes out of nowhere. Looks like he's about to leave. Decides all of a sudden he's going to answer his buddy. They're such good friends. Seth Rollins made this declaration at the beginning of the show, and Roman Reigns waited until now to say, yeah, you know what? Nah, screw this guy. I got you back. Just stepping right on Tyler Breeze, right on national television. Just shitting right all over him. Showing no respect. Looking at him with, like, this guy? Nah, I got your back. And the whole entire world, plus the arena, all collectively groaned. With, like, are you kidding me? We already seen him wrestle. We've already seen that stupid interview coming up. So we already know we have to see him again. And now we're going to have to watch him wrestle again. Thankfully, that wouldn't be the case. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I would have definitely been more interested in seeing Rollins and Breeze as a team than Roman and even the potential of seeing Roman and Rollins as a team again. No. Terrible. One last thing about the Authors of Pain I almost missed because I wrote it in my notes a little too far down. Michael Cole wants to go off and say, as we're watching Akam or Razor, whichever the one we were talking about, Razor versus Titus O'Neil, he wants to say, oh, it's not often that we see the Authors of Pain in singles competition. Do you not watch the show like Brock Lesnar claims he doesn't watch the show? You were part of the fucking show, you idiot. It was just 7 days ago they were in singles competition. It's not often we see this. We just seen it. Idiots. We had the Kevin Owens show. Another fucking waste of time. Kevin Owens is great on the mic. Everything he said was fantastic. But the fact that Jinder Mahal was his guest, even though Jinder Mahal didn't get a word in edgewise, the fact that he is involved in this feud between Owens and Strowman is making me not care about this feud between Owens and Strowman until we get to this match. We know what the match is about. We know what's at stake. We know Kevin Owens wants the Money in the Bank contract. He tried multiple times on this evening to get his hands on that contract after he forced Jinder Mahal to have a rematch with Braun Strowman. Rematch! Again, another match that we had from last week. Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal. Same match. Almost the same outcome. You think just because you made it a disqualification instead of a countout, it's any different? It was the same segment. I don't give a shit that he flipped over the set. Kevin Owens had a nice little set up. He's sitting there with Jinder Mahal. They call out Braun Strowman. And then boom, all of a sudden from out of nowhere like a monster. Well, that's why they call him that, I guess, right? Like the monster among men that he is. He just uproots this thing. I don't know where the fuck he came from. I don't know if he was sitting underneath that stage all night long or he was just... I don't know, because I didn't see him come out from anywhere. He was just all of a sudden there, and the table was all of a sudden standing on its edge, sending the three idiots on it, off of it, and then we had this match for Braun Strowman and Jinder Mahal, which ended it the same way we seen last week. Absolutely terrible television. Lazy booking, lack of creativity, lazy writing, and you can't tell me I'm wrong. After this segment, we get this Roman Reigns sit-down interview with Corey Graves. They want to highlight the 4 years of shit we've had to sit through and this push that has done nothing but blow up in the WWE's face. They want to show us every key moment. All 4 or 5 matches with Brock Lesnar where Roman Reigns has failed. Then he wants to sit there and try to build sympathy. I'm always here. Brock's not there. He's a disappointment. Blah, blah, blah. I have to win. I need to win. I already won at the greatest Royal Rumble. Blah, blah, blah. Big dog, yada, yada. Superman punch, spear, blah. Who cares? The most forced, overly scripted agenda piece I have seen in the 4 years since they have tried to put this ape man on top. Garbage. So, Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin stop Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns en route to their match with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, and inform him that Stephanie McMahon has decreed that he will not be taking part in this match tonight with Seth Rollins, and if he defies her, he will be forfeiting his matchup against the Beast at SummerSlam. Despite Roman Reigns coming off as an I don't give a shit, I'll do what I want, screw the authority type of figure, which doesn't fit his character at all, and then he would go and just punch Baron Corbin right in the gut for absolutely no reason. Unprovoked, nothing happening, absolute bully. Just punched him right in the gut. Kurt Angle sitting there laughing about it. How does that make sense? That's what a babyface does? I don't get it. I don't get it. So Seth Rollins is going to go it alone. And now we have Seth Rollins in the ring with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Like I've already pointed out, something we have seen almost on a weekly basis for the last 6 to 8 weeks in one form or another. Let me be the one to point out the fact to you that every single week there has been a 2-on-1 advantage, because when you see Ziggler, you see McIntyre and vice versa. Never once has there been a one-on-one scenario. The other guy has always managed to come out and give his teammate the advantage. The only difference here being it's legal now for the two of them to be involved, as it now became a handicap match for Seth Rollins. And there's no chance that he's going to win this. There is no chance at all. But they tried to make him look as good as possible by having some sort of shenanigans go down during the pinfall. Apparently, Drew McIntyre was the legal man. He never made the tag to Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler was the one that got the pin. So now Seth Rollins is going to come out next week and be all like, oh, but the wrong guy pinned me, and blah, blah, blah. But the referee's decision is final, just like it was in the case with Brock and Roman at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and it will be till the end of time. Referees' decisions are never overturned, and that is just going to be the end of it. We'll probably see him in a match against them next week, because these lazy fucks don't know how to write a wrestling show. It's going to be the go-home show to SummerSlam. That's what you're going to do. Just like you're going to have a World Tag Team Championship match on next Monday night's Raw. 6-7 days away from SummerSlam. You're going to put Finn Balor and Baron Corbin on the SummerSlam card, but you're not going to give the Tag Team Championships a match on SummerSlam yet? Not that it needs it. We've already got like 10 matches. 7 hours long this show's going to be. WrestleMania 2.0. Awful. Speaking of the World Tag Team Championships, the B Team versus the Revival. Another uneventful outing for both of these guys, as the leaders of worlds would come out and make this match a no contest. Both Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt would pop up in the respective corners of both tag teams in this matchup, replacing their partners. Their Curtis Axel disappeared. Dash Wilder disappeared. Scott Dawson left in the ring. Bo Dallas left in the ring. Cash. Nothing happened. Everything was called off. That was it. Now we're going to have this triple threat tag team match next week on Monday Night Raw. Great. Who cares? The one shining moment of the night comes via Paul Heyman. The Paul Heyman interview, his response to what happened 7 days ago on Monday Night Raw with Brock Lesnar. Within the first half a second, I knew we were all going to be in for a treat. I knew that we were in the hands of a master manipulator of creativity. Because Paul Heyman looked like shit. He looked like he hasn't slept since Brock Lesnar almost broke his neck on Monday Night Raw. He looks like he hasn't shaved, just completely unkempt. His eyes all bugged out, full of tears, all welled up with tears before the segment even began. Then you have Renee Young but sitting across from him. She wants to talk about last week. This was such a beautiful piece of business. I could do it no justice. Paul Heyman, as emotional and as real as I've ever seen him really come across, because this came from a personal place. He believed Brock Lesnar and he were true friends. And the whole thing that happened last week to him was absolutely inconceivable. A few days ago, he would have never believed this would have happened. Renee Young asked him, now with Brock Lesnar seemingly out of the picture, is there somebody else that you might have your eye on? And again, he's like, that would be inconceivable. How could I go from somebody else after being with somebody like Brock Lesnar? Touched upon some family things and some of the connections, how Brock has turned off his phone. He's not responding to any communications. He's just shut Paul out. It's never been like this. It's riveting. The most probably powerful thing he would say would come at the very end of this whole thing when he says, you know, against this Brock Lesnar, he doesn't know who this Brock Lesnar is now. He's never seen Brock Lesnar like this. And this Brock Lesnar, when he goes up against Roman Reigns doesn't stand a chance. So despite the tears and despite the possible ill will for everything that has gone on right now, Paul Heyman still stands firm that the Beast Brock Lesnar is in a mindset all his own right now, and Roman Reigns is in the most trouble he has ever been in his life. Paul Heyman doing the absolute best he possibly can to paint Brock Lesnar as the absolute vile, villainous, selfish, angry piece of shit beast that the world wants him to be. Nobody does it better than Paulie. However, this was another in the long line of attempts to desperately get us on the side of Roman Reigns. To see Paul Heyman in that capacity, to see what Brock Lesnar has done, to have him put Brock Lesnar over in the way that he did tonight, is only a beautifully manipulative piece crafted by a mastermind to try to get us on the side of the big dog, to garnish here some interest in this SummerSlam match, because there is, as of now, 0. And there still is 0. Predictable, yes. And on the flip side of things, just bringing the hammer down like we do. All fucking weekend long they got pictures of Paulie Dangerously, Paul Heyman, at the Performance Center scouting people. He was scouting Kona Reeves, talking to some NXT talent while he was down there. Then you're going to have him come out on Monday Night Raw and cut a promo in tears saying he could never be with anybody but Brock. And that it was inconceivable 6 days ago. But 2 days ago, you were down in Florida looking for new prospects. Don't treat me like an asshole, because I'm going to call you out on it every time. Now finally we would get to some women's action. Not like it would be that great. I say finally because usually they sprinkle it evenly throughout. But they wanted to leave the whole final hour of Monday Night Raw to all the women. And what did we get? A repeat from last week. The Riot Squad versus the Boss and Hug Connection. Are you kidding me with that name? Are you kidding me? And this whole thing is just lost. It's a lost cause. The whole Sasha Bailey boat has sailed and sunk. Now they're friends again. They're a tag team. This all reeks of those women's tag team belts coming sooner than later, regardless what Stephanie McMahon is saying on social media. She's probably just trolling everybody. There's no other reason for them to be a team when they were so close to doing what they were meant to do, which is wrestle each other, not wrestle other people. I didn't understand when they started to turn away from the feud between the two girls, Bayley and Sasha, and now it's just getting worse. And then you got Corey Graves still pushing a tension between these two girls that is no longer there. It hasn't been on camera in 3 weeks. But he still believes that, or he's still feeding us the possibility that something that we wanted 2 years ago is possibly still maybe, kind of, almost, maybe, could maybe happen. Awful. This whole entire match, repeat or not from last week, was nothing but for the return of Ruby Riott, which was great to see. I'm happy to see the only actual wrestler in the Riott Squad with AAA talent come back into the fold. And now the Riott Squad would get their win back after losing last week to the Boston Hug Connection. And then you had the debacle. That was the main event featuring Alicia Fox versus Ronda Rousey. Why are you so hard on Alicia Fox, Nick? Why? Why can't you just respect the girl? Why can't you respect her contributions to the industry? 10 years plus in the business. A supposedly former Diva champion. This girl has paved the way for the women of the future. Yet she can't throw a punch. She can't execute a suplex. And she didn't even allow Ronda Rousey to lock in the armbar before tapping out like a jerk on the mat. While Ronda Rousey held her wrist like a mother would hold their child's hand crossing the street. Are you kidding me? Main event. Main event. Alicia Fox was an uncoordinated, nervous. I don't blame her for being nervous and scared. She's in there against a woman that could legitimately break her jaw by looking at it. But that's what she was. Uncoordinated, sloppy, scared, nervous, and absolutely unworthy of a main event match on Monday Night Raw. Unworthy of being across the ring from a Ronda Rousey. How dare they even try to insinuate that Alicia Fox is a modicum of a threat to somebody the stature of a Ronda Rousey? They should have just made the championship match at SummerSlam her first ever match ever. Her first match on Raw tonight was unnecessary. Did you get hyped watching her throw around what I guess you could equate to a broken mop handle? Alicia Fox doing nothing but talking, terrible acting in the ring because she can't wrestle, so she went to the well that they all do when they can't wrestle, and they talk. And they talk and they talk and they use their body language. And why Ronda Rousey wasn't just running at her and wrapping her up in a vice, I'll never know. The fact that this match lasted 60 seconds is another disservice to Ronda Rousey. She should have wrapped her up, tapped her out, and that was it. Then have a little skirmish with Alexa. Have Alexa walk away so that she could say, at SummerSlam, that title is mine, like she did tonight, and then you could go off the air. It would have been much more effective. all night long trying to tell everybody how Alicia Fox is a challenge, a former champion. You know what? I think I must have smoked my friggin' brains out, or my brain has like a protection against bad and traumatic incidences from the past, because I don't even remember that happening. Not anywhere in the furthest recesses of my mind, back here, wherever. It's not in there. I don't remember her ever being a Divas champion. I blocked it out because it's that traumatic. Alicia Fox, the best thing she ever did was be the wedding planner for Edge and Vicky Guerrero, and ended up seducing Edge and stopping them from getting remarried because of his infidelity. That was Alicia Fox's best moment. Anything in the ring, throw it in the trash. Ronda Rousey looked great tonight. She looked like she's getting the hang of it, regardless how many times she had to pull her shorts out of her crotch. These are the things I notice. Maybe you want to switch up your gear if it's that much of a bother to you every time I see you in the ring in a competitive capacity so far. All I see is you adjusting your trunks. You know, maybe change it up. Wear something a little more comfortable, honey. But she is looking like she's coming along. If she was able to do what she did tonight with a talent like Alicia Fox, then when you put her in there against somebody that knows what they're doing, it's going to be great. I don't think Alexa Bliss is going to be that one. I think SummerSlam should be, again, 60 seconds to maybe 2-3 minutes tops. Have Alexa play cat and mouse, and then Ronda just wrap her up and swallow her like an anaconda. That would be acceptable to me. Alexa Bliss, not on Ronda Rousey's level. We have a lot of girls coming up from NXT, coming to the WWE in the Mae Young Classic that are on Ronda Rousey's level. A Shayna Baszler, a Jessamine Duke, Mia Yim, Io Shirai. Top name talent. You put them against a Ronda Rousey, that's a main event. Alicia Fox, Alexa Bliss. No. As much as I love me some Alexa, it's time to move on. Ronda Rousey is the future. This was a disrespectful slap in the face. This was doing it just for the sake of doing it, getting it out of the way. First time ever, right? Gotta have one on every show. Unnecessary. When you have her go to execute the easiest of suplexes, she's going to do an exploder suplex, very similar to what Becky Lynch does, to the entire roster of women all the time, and Alicia Fox lands on her face when you're supposed to end up on your back. You're not in there with a professional wrestler. You're in there with a crash test dummy. All due respect, of course. You want to talk about women's action, all you need to do, you want real women's action as far as it comes to professional wrestling, you got to check out everything we got coming at you guys for the Mae Young Classic. 3 of the 4 parts of our Mae Young Classic preview is up there. There are 31 confirmed names. I saw some mook on YouTube today. He had 32 competitors listed. I watched his video. He's got Taynara Conti listed as an official competitor. I cannot confirm that as being the truth, so I will not go with that in my video. We bring you guys the truth with this hammer, even when we do so in a fun manner, like with the Mae Young Classic preview, which is an absolute fun video. It's a whole different style of video that I'm doing for you guys. Let me know if you like those kind of things. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot more time for me to do, so I have to do them a lot more in advance. WWE's killing me, making me wait for the announcement, the official announcement on the webpage or from somebody. They're filming the Mae Young Classic in 2 days at Full Sail. I don't even know who the last girl is for sure. It's driving me crazy and I can't get my video out. But I guarantee you Part 4 is coming to you guys sometime this week, because I'm going to find out at the very least by Wednesday when this whole entire tournament kicks off. I'm sure somebody will let me know something somewhere. So be on the lookout for that. And all the coverage you will ever need for the Mae Young Classic is right here on your official NYC 2018 station. That's reaching the nation, which is Sledgehammer TV and the Sledgehammer Hammer Wrestling Show. This has been our Monday Night Raw review. We had a lot of fun tonight. Once again, it was a rip-roaring roast of Monday Night Raw. Maybe not as hot as fire as last week's, but that's because I don't want to do repeats like Monday Night Raw does. So we try to change things up and make things a little different for you guys, because you are what makes this channel happen. And if you, my friend, are still here at the 49 minutes, 50 minutes tearing this piece of shit down, then you deserve an award, and I deserve for you to subscribe to this channel, because obviously you had a good time and you enjoyed everything we did here and you agreed with everything I said. Subscribe right now during our SummerSlam extravaganza, the subscription drive to 1K and beyond. Help us reach that goal by smashing that subscribe button right now. Bang down on that thumbs up with your sledgehammers at home, whether they're imaginary or you actually have a replica. And make sure the world knows that everything that we do here for you guys is A-OK. And then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, so that they know that when they want the truth and no sugar-coated bullshit when it comes to your professional wrestling, and they want the hammer brought down on Monday Night Raw like we do every week, Sledgehammer TV is the place to be. Thank you all of you that have grown with us. 100 subs in the last week during SummerSlam. Let's keep it going with you right now. Smash that fucking subscribe button and let's get this event, just keep it going at 100%, because that's how we do things. We are CN, like Andrade Cien Almas. We are 100% at all times. And don't forget, guys, don't skip. You only have about 2 weeks left to get your hands on your official Sledgehammer Wrestling Show t-shirt, or the Sledgehammer Club Bullet Club inspired t-shirt, which you will see on the outro on the way out. Hopefully that friggin' intro music worked tonight. It's been driving me crazy. My tech has been driving me absolutely nuts all week long, but it seems like we got things under control. I'll find out when you do, as this thing goes live in just about 25 minutes from now. We are vastly approaching 12:20 p.m. on August the 7th, but tonight we talked about Monday Night Raw from August the 6th, 2018. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, the hammer of reason, and the official sledgehammer of Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Brought to you by my little buddy, my most trusted companion. Look how handsome he is. The world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in the whole entire universe, Mr. Blue. We're so glad to be with you and you right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys so much. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you tomorrow for SmackDown Live, as we are on the road to SummerSlam and continue to say fuck SummerSlam. So let's celebrate SummerSlam right here on the only channel that brings the hammer down the way it deserves to be brought, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV. You guys fucking rock. I love each and every one of you. Have a good night, and we will see you for SmackDown Live.